Hello friends and welcome to Golarion in Depth. In today's installment we will look at elves in the Pathfinder universe and their alien origins. The elves, sometimes called the Fair Ones, are an ancient race and one of the most common humanoid races on Golarion. However, their culture peaked several thousand years ago and they have been unable to repopulate many of their cities since that time. Their numbers are in decline. A few remaining concentration of elves live in the Elven nation of Kyonin, the island of Mordient Spire, the jungles of the Mwangi Expanse, and the wilds of Varisia. The origin of elves is debated among historians. Some believe that elves are native to Golarion, but many other scholars believe that elves come from the neighboring planet of Castrovel. Elves currently live on Castrovel, and archaeologists have found evidence in the city of El, one of the oldest cities in Castrovel, that predates evidence of elves on Golarion. These historians believe that the elves migrated to Golarion during the Age of Serpents. Some believe that the word elf and the common elven name suffix el literally refer to the people of El. Regardless on their opinion of the origin of elves, archaeologists believe that the Elven society reached its zenith during the Age of Legends. As human cultures expanded, the elves knew that they would have to cede much of the world to them, given the low elven birth rates. It is theorized that they turned their focus away from Golarion to explore the nearby planets. When their diviners and astronomers discovered that Earthfall would soon destroy Golarion, many elves departed the planet through a magic portal to seek refuge on Castrovel, where they remained for thousands of years. Of the elves that did remain on Golarion, many receded into the depths of the earth and established settlements there. Over time, these underground elves began to develop ember black skin and sable white hair. The powerful evils lurking in the darkness corrupted them into what is known today as Drow or Drow, meaning accursed. But not all was lost for the elves. The Kyonin capital of Ayadaria housed the Sovarian Stone. This ancient magic device maintained a silent link between the guardian elves on Golarion and their elven brethren on Castrovel. These precious few guardian elves remained untouched by the corruption around them, but they did observe it. During the Age of Darkness, this honor guard on Golarion watched their abandoned communities fall to squatters and their artifacts pillaged and sold. The most dangerous of these squatters was a demon named Tree Raiser. This beast was cast out of the abyss in 2497 AR and quickly claimed Farini Forest as its lair. This once lush wood became twisted and dark. The elves in Castrovel could stand in isolation no longer. Passing through the portal, they marched their return to Golarion. The gate that allowed the elves to travel between the planets was an ancient one that predated the elves themselves. However, it may have inspired the elves to create the Ayadara, or Elf Gates, that allow for instantaneous travel to distant locations. These Elf Gates are located across Golarion and Castrovel, but many have been lost or forgotten over time. Typically, a unique physical object is required to activate the gate, which allows for transportation to specific gate or a hub of other gates. This complex system of gates is sometimes called the Iodari network. Elves are tall and lean, recognizable by their physical beauty, their stylish dress, pointed ears, irises and pupils so large that the whites of their eyes are scarcely visible. Their skin and eye colors vary greatly. They are among the quickest of the humanoid races and known for their acrobatic feats. Even though an elf life is measured in centuries, elves are relatively more frail compared to humans. Their knowledge of ancient magic and tendency to keep isolated from the outside world help to counteract this flaw. Elves are divided into different cultural groups across Golarion. This diversity does not spring from the common ethnic lineages, but as a result of adaptation to ecological habitats. These physiological changes occur gradually over centuries, but have dramatic results in the change of an elf's appearance. These subcultures include the aquatic elves, who have gills and webbed fingers. They live on the ocean floor. Desert elves with their tanned skin. The drow of the darklands. The Irvani, pale-skinned elves of the crown of the world. The Genasi elves, a split from the ancestor of drows, who instead traveled to Tainji. The Mordant Spire elves, the keeper of the secrets of the lost Aslanti Empire. The Mwangi of the Mwangi Expanse, including the Ikaje. And the Varono, nomadic tribes of the northern Garoon. Honor is very important to the Elven community. This honor has little to do with martial conquest or social status. It has everything to do with friendship. They value making and maintaining friendship. Wronging a friend or pressing your own will upon them is dishonorable. This can lead to long-lasting feuds within the Elven community. These feuds do not often escalate into violence, but may result in the elf attempting to vex another's endeavors. Elven style is expressed in their crafting, architecture, and furnishing. They often blend natural themes with smooth, elegant lines. With their extensive lives, it is not uncommon for an elf to be a skilled artist in several disciplines. As births are uncommon among the Elven kind, the arrival of a newborn is an event for the whole community. Celebrations often last for weeks as community members give blessings and items to assist the child's care and development. Most elves have 4 names: a personal or given name, an intimate name usually known only to close family friends, an everyday name chosen by the elf, and a family name. The elf rarely bothers mentioning more than their everyday name at informal introductions. Beginning in childhood, most elves set out in search of a clear, semi-divine enlightenment known as the brightness. This search is one of the reasons that elves travel, but others believe that a physical travel is unnecessary and that the brightness can be found by journeying within. The nature of this enlightenment varies by individual, and few can describe it in words aside from inadequate, shadowy representation. From a very early age, longswords and rapiers are familiar to an elf. Just as human children play tag, elven children fence. Ceremonial swords are often worn by the adults. Archery, on the other hand, is a civic virtue. With their knowledge of magic combined with archery, the elves created the first eldritch archers. Many elves believe in reincarnation. Those who die become animals in the next life, which then, in return, as elves in the next. Those elves who cannot tell Pharasma of their brightness undergo a longer cycle of rebirth, sometimes in the form of monsters, before returning as elves. Given their low birth rate, elves understand that this may be a very long process. Elves dispose of their dead in means they believe the departed would most appreciate. Some are laid to rest in crypts, others are sealed inside ancient trees, still others are placed in the earth. Cremation and burial at sea are less common among elves. Elves tend to be casual, although sincere in their religious beliefs. Calistria is the favored goddess among many elves of Golarion. She is the most well-known goddess in the Elven pantheon, attracting followers from outside of the ancestry. Desna, Nethys, and Shaylin are also very popular deities among the elves. Elves generally have a love of friendship and laughter within their communities. However, they have been known to keep relations with shorter-lived ancestries at a distance. To live entirely among non-elves is considered a terrible fate, as the elf would see everyone they love wither away and die. This sad fate has given rise to the term forlorn. The elves are an ancient people, having seen much in their own long lives. After leaving Golarion during ancient times, they returned to a world that was forever changed. To some, the elves are the pinnacle of grace and beauty with immense talent and knowledge. Among themselves, elves place far more importance on personal freedom and cultivating strong friendships. This has been an overview of the Elven lore in the Pathfinder universe. For more information on Pathfinder lore, remember to subscribe. Leave in the comments below what topics you'd like for me to cover in the future. For more information on playing an elf, please refer to NoNat's video, the description below. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time on Golarion in Depth.